everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today, the day has finally come. We have the entirety of my Touch of Glam collection, and there are two different type of pans. You have the round ones and the square ones. The newer ones that they released around Black Friday are in these square shapes, and then a lot of the other ones are still in the circles. And don't mind the sun that is slowly creeping through, but we are just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I have blank sleeves, so I am ready to just swatch absolutely everything for you guys. We're gonna do an eye look and it's gonna be amazing, and I am so excited. Do you ever just have like one of the days where you're like, today's gonna be a good makeup day? Like you know it, like your base went on really nice, and on top of that, just having a day where I get to swatch multi-chromes is just already like, it's gonna be a good day. But I'm ready for an amazing day. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. So first shade up is gonna be Copycats. Definitely has a really strong kind of pinkish base with a gold sheen on top. Also some peachish and a little bit of some green that I'm seeing in the shift there. But definitely starts off with that pink base that you can see. And then there you can start to see the gold. A little bit more of a champagne-y gold. Almost a hint of green around the knuckles there, but primarily that pink and gold, but really nice. Just one swipe and immediately opaque. So that is a really awesome shade. Next up we have We're All Mad here, and I already know I'm gonna like this shade. Look at it, oh my gosh. Okay. So this one definitely has a deeper blackish base to it, which is why the colors are really popping. And it goes from like purple, magenta, lighter pink, blue, a little bit of green on the edges. So there you can see it starts off with that black base, purple, deeper purple with the magenta on the other side. There's some blue. That lighter magenta on top. You can really see the difference between the purple and the blue down on the base. That is just a pretty shade. Ooh, almost a little bit into that green there. So, yes, that is lovely. Oh, there's the green. Yes, that mermaidy, bluish, greenish, turquoise. Oh, love it. Camera's on fire today. It's gonna be a good day. It's picking up the shifts. All right. Then we've got Unicorn Toot, which to me I think actually kind of looked very reminiscent of the Lucid Lavender shade, but we're gonna be swatching that later. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how they compare. And this is absolutely just all of the shades. You've got lighter blues and greens, lighter like lilac and pink shades. Has a bit of a, I would say that the base is your kind of bluish base. So there you can see that bluish base, starting to get into some of the lighter to green to gold. There's your purple, deeper purple, a little bit of that magenta pink. There's a little bit of the green on top, just stunning. All of the shifts on there. Next shade up is gonna be Damson in Distress. And this had a little bit of a thicker consistency, a little bit chunkier rather than quite so smooth as like what this one was. And it definitely looks like it has a red base to it with gold, maybe a little bit of greenish blue on top. So there you can see that reddish magenta base. Starting to see some of that greenish gold shift. Can really see the difference between the green on top and then that lighter gold on the bottom. A little bit of a peachy undertone as well. Really pretty. All right, next shade up is My Dark Side Is No Secret. Beautiful. Also, again, that deeper kind of charcoal black base, but this one has a beautiful green to blue, little bit of some yellow in there shift, also smidge of purple at the edge. But there you can see that same dark black base on this one, kind of like what you're getting on this guy. Goes into the green, a little bit more of a teal shade at the tip there. A little bit of that lighter lime green on the bottom. Almost turns a little bit grungy because of the base on there. But very pretty. I will say that the shift on this one is definitely more apparent in person rather than like in the camera. I will say that the bluish shift is a little bit more subtle. Next shade up is going to be Autumn Leaves and Pumpkins, Please. It's a beautiful orangey gold shade. Oh, wow. Okay, this shade is stunning. It goes from like yellow to gold to pink, but like that pink has some interesting undertones to it as well. So definitely that orangish base. There you can see the yellow on top, really strong with the yellow. And then you can see a little bit of where that pink is trying to come through. Right there as it's trying to focus, you can see a bit more of that Barbie pink shade, and it is gorgeous how it does that. I mean, when the light hits the pink just right, it is beautiful. And then it just goes right back to that strong orange to gold shade. That is really pretty, and definitely I was not expecting the pink, especially given that it seemed like it was a little bit more of like a fall themed shade. I wasn't ready for the Barbie pink. Next up is Sneeze Me Pink, and this is back to that smoother multi-chrome consistency, and you can see again that dark black base, much like this guy and this one have, and this guy goes between magenta, gold, copper, green, maybe a smidge of purple on there. Just absolutely beautiful. So there you can see that deeper base into the kind of yellowish to green, and then the magenta is coming out. Oh, so pretty. And that's such a grungy shade too. That is really pretty. Oh, I love how that shift is showing up. You even get a little bit of the yellow on there. So pretty, I love it. All right, next up we have that Lucid Lavender shade. Let's see how it compares. All right. Very pretty, very similar to this guy for sure. Just that the shifts hit at slightly different times. So it's got a lot of the same colors of like the lighter lilacs, pinks, golds, greens, blues. It just hits at slightly different times when the light is on it than the other shade, but the shift itself is very similar. So it starts off with that lighter shade, and you can kind of see that comparison, this guy versus this one. As I move it, I think that the shift is also a little bit more apparent in Lucid Lavender. So you can really see the pink to purple with the blue and green and gold around the edges. This guy is also very similar shifts, I really think so. Maybe a slight touch deeper and not quite as in your face with the shifts, but both very, very nice. So I would say if for some reason, because I know Lucid Lavender goes out of stock pretty quick, if Lucid Lavender is out of stock, you can go with the Unicorn Toots and you're gonna get a pretty similar comparison. And there is one more shade in here that we're gonna swatch later that's one of the square shades that also looks super similar. So really interesting to see how those compare, so that in case any of them are out of stock, you can still grab something similar. Next up is the shade Get Off My Cold Case, and this is back to that kind of thicker, chunkier consistency. Definitely has a very deep base to it. The shift is way more subtle, kind of goes between a reddish copper into orange into gold, very much so on the grungy side. So you can really see that deeper red and then how it goes into kind of that lighter gold, but definitely a more subtle shift on there. Not nearly as well defined of a shift as this guy is, but very pretty still, I think. Then we have Deep Slumber Shifter, which looks like a bit of a teal kind of shade. Also has that deeper base to it. And I am not seeing a ton of shift on this one, actually. It looks to me more so like it is just primarily that kind of charcoal base with a teal glitter on top of it that maybe has some slight purple flecks in it as well. But you're primarily just getting that teal blue shade on top of the black base. But you can ever so slightly see how it is a little bit with purple. But I would definitely not equate that one to like a multi-chrome or anything. And I can't remember if that was labeled as a multi-chrome, because they do in fact also just sell some normal metallic shades that are not multi-chrome. So that might just be one of those. I did try to grab primarily multi-chrome, so. Next shade up is gonna be Tree of Life, and this is a very green shade. Again, I don't think that this one is a multi-chrome. I think it's just a green metallic, very nice and shiny. So they do also have really nice metallics, just in general. They do also charge way less for the metallics. I think their metallics are usually around like $7 or $8 per pan, whereas the multi-chromes are definitely running you anywhere between like 50 and 20 some dollars. So very comparable in price to like Cleonda and how they do their stuff, because they also have some just standard metallics that are less expensive. Then we have the shade A Touch of Glam, so the namesake shade of the brand, and again has a really nice pink base to it. Ooh, okay, this one is definitely different than this one that had that orangish pink base and this one, because this guy goes from pink to purple to blue to a little bit of green, many shifts. So pink base, you can start to see a little bit of that yellow to bluish sheen on there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of purple, but you're really able to see that overlayer on there, a little bit of the blue coming through on the top. But in person, this guy is stunning. I mean, many shifts, very beautiful shades. So I really, really like that one. That is super pretty. Then the last of the round pans is Lilac and Love. And that is this guy. Very pretty, but also very subtle. It looks like it goes from having like a medium blue undertone to like a greenish and then into purple. So very pretty. You can already see kind of teal blue shifting to a lilac. Almost a little bit of a gold sheen on top as well. The bottom you can see that purple to gold to blue. And it does have a little bit of a green kick depending on how the light hits it as well. But that's just a really beautiful springtime shade. Like really these last two on here are absolutely perfect for the springtime. So I really enjoy those shades. They're very nice. So this is what we have for all of the round pans. Oh, this guy is blinding. I love it. Very, very nice. Lots of good differences in the bases, in the formulas, just a whole lot to work with. So far, very pleased with everything. All right, so now we're gonna move into the 6 square pan shades that are some of the newer harvest shades that they released for around Black Friday, because they took a hot minute to get here. Okay, so this formula is very soft on this first shade, but it is called Shine Me a Kaleidoscope, and this is beautiful. All right. It is like liquid glass getting put on my finger. It is so smooth. That is bonkers. And that shine, this is literally, if you were making a multi-chrome into a foil, I would imagine this is what it would look like. So it starts off with kind of a purplish blue base. Starting to see some of the lighter blue. Green is coming through, gold is coming through, and from back here, literally like a mirror with the amount of reflection that you are getting on there. That is gorgeous. I mean, when you look at it in comparison to these guys, like really only this one is picking up even close to that level of reflection. Like turning them both, this is a multi-chrome foil. Wow, that is beautiful, but you definitely have to be very gentle with it. So I would probably recommend only gently using your finger to apply it, because it is such a soft consistency that if you're using a brush, you're probably gonna dig right into it. And so definitely be gentle. Next one up is Dirty Little Secret, also very soft in the pan. Same, oh my God. So this one is like purple to pink to blue with maybe a tiny bit of peach in there. I mean, what? I'm just touching it because it's so pretty. Oh my God, okay. So it has a bit of a bluish, definitely a lighter base to it. there's some of your pink into a purple, more magenta. Pull it back, you get a little more blue into kind of a goldish shift. I mean, that is stunning. And this one I haven't even made fully opaque yet. Like, there is definitely, you can see some of my skin through that still. So to get this level of reflect, like before you even have maximum opacity, is like, wow. Just these two shades alone, absolutely worth the price. I mean, we're gonna use these on the lid because I really want to see if these perform the same way on the lid, because these to me are fairly standard multi-chromes. You see that type of formula across a lot of different brands, but these, if you can get that same amount of shine on your eyes as what I'm getting on my hand, this is the next step up for multi-chromes. So very impressed with that. Next up is Blue Lagoon, also very, very soft. And this one to me is the one that in the pan looked like it might be a similar shift to Lucid Lavender. So if they made a Lucid Lavender shade into a foil, oh my God, what is this nonsense? Okay, so not quite a Lucid Lavender shade. Definitely more on the mermaidy side. Not quite the same as this one either, because I would say that this has a little bit of some different shifts on there. So you've got some purple to blue with some greens. This one definitely shifts more green to blue. This one is more purplish, and then this guy is like an in-between of the two. So like if you combined these two shades, this is what you would get. And I will also say that the reflect on this one is in real life very much the same as what you were getting with the others, but for some reason on the camera, when I pull it back, I mean, you're not quite getting the same amount as this one. And you can definitely see how it's more pinkish purple from the back, and then when it comes in close, you get those greenish blues. So pulling back, you can really see some of the different shifts of these guys. You can even see a little bit of like pink to gold on that one, and then when it comes in close, green to blue. So, man, I felt it. Today was gonna be a good day, and it's a good swatch day. Okay, next one up is Undeniably Pink. Again, I feel like all 6 of these square shades, so you have to be so gentle. They are so soft in the pan. Oh, this is gonna be a reflective one. It's gonna be a foil again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this shift on this one is very similar to this guy, but foil level. So you're starting off with that pink base, getting into some of that goldish to bluish, really see that pink to gold on there, and then as you pull back, you can really see some of that shine of the gold on top of there, a little bit of orange, and then as I look at it, I see purple and a little bit of greenish blue. So like as it's trying to focus on the top, you can see a little bit of the shadow of the lighter purple. Oh man, these are just, oh, they are like sunlight with how they are gleaming. Like look at my finger. This is just nuts. It is so shiny and reflective. Wow. Oh my gosh. Literally like liquid glass on there. All right, next shade is Red Carpet Ready, and this one is slightly more sturdy in the pan, but still you want to be gentle with it. Because yeah, as I'm swatching it, it still feels like that very soft, liquidy feel to it. Ooh, and this one is a fiery shade. Goes back and forth between pink and gold with like maybe a slight bit of green on the edges. So you can definitely see that kind of orangish, fiery pink base. Really see the orange to gold. There's a little more of the magenta pink. As it's trying to focus, you can see more of the grungy gold on it. Maybe ever so slightly a tinge of green. That is Very beautiful. I will say from further back, the reflect on this one is not quite as strong. And I don't think that that is because it's not as impactful, because when I look at it, it's very strong and shiny. I think it's just that from further back, you're primarily seeing the pink base. But when the light catches it and that goldish kind of green shift kicks in, it is very reflective. So I think that one is just kind of dependent on the light, because like, look at that level of shine of the pink on my finger. That is super reflective. So yeah, I think it just kind of depends on how the light is hitting it. Much like how the light is hitting my face. It looks like I have bubbles of light. All right, next shade up is gonna be Iconic, and this one is again very gentle in the pan. Ooh, so this one to me now seems, nope, also not. I was about to be like, is this one like the Lucid Lavender? Yeah. So you guys are seeing purplish blue. I am seeing gold to green to turquoise. So starting off with kind of a turquoisey base, you can definitely see as I pull it down that kind of pinkish tone, really seeing some greens and blues and golds. There's some of the pink. Very pretty shade. I would say probably out of all of them, this one is the closest to the Lucid Lavender shade, but still, like, in comparison to it, holding it up next to it, 'tis not the same. But yeah, if you are looking for like a foil multi-chrome metallic, the square pans are definitely the ones to go with, because they are just, like, in comparison, these look like dull metallics when you look at them next to these guys that are just going absolutely bonkers in the light. And when I look at these, they're beautiful. So it's like, that clearly tells me that these are on a whole other level. They are a little bit more flaky, and so you do need to like be a little bit more cautious with them and kind of press them on rather than like doing this number, because that was kind of what I was doing in between each swatch, was I was trying to press it down and then slowly pull the skin from there, because that eliminates some of the chunks and smooths it out so that it doesn't get kind of like on the edges here where you can see that it's a little bit chunky on there because I didn't press that down. So you do want to keep that in mind, that the formula is a little bit chunky, and so you want to make sure that you're pressing it down so that it stays on the eyes really nice. But we're going to get into an eye look now, because I need to get this on my face and see what it does. So we're just going to jump into that right away as soon as I have figured out what color combo I want to use. All right, I have an idea. So we are going to start off with the inner corner, like the inner third is going to be this lighter guy, and then we're going to blend that into this really strong shade, and then we are going to darken out the edges with this darker metallic and kind of do a similar thing on the under eye, where we will pull this shade into this one so that it's because I have a feeling that this formula will pack easier on the under eye rather than these guys where it might be a little bit of a struggle to get them on there, but on the lid they should be easy. I am going to try a brush with the shades first, see how it goes, and then potentially go in with my finger to press them down a bit. Yeah, I will definitely say trying to go in with a brush, it's very difficult to pick the product up, and so it wasn't really like, I had to already go in with my finger just to get anything to kind of smoosh down the way I wanted it to, so I would recommend just using your fingers for these, absolutely. So far so good. I definitely think that using the finger is so much easier than trying to use a brush, because you can really press in as much product as you want and then just use a clean finger to wipe away the excess to kind of help blend it out. But you can really put a good amount of product on to get that shift to really show up. Alright, I'm gonna go into that last metallic shade, and this will be really interesting to see how it blends with these shimmers, because it might not want to go with them. So that's always something to also keep in mind to kind of judge the formula is it capable of working with other formula products? where they layer nicely and they're not competing. All right, I definitely think that so far it blended really nice. I, as per usual, went a little heavy-handed on the left-hand side, so I had to wipe some of it away. Not too much fallout really at all, and I think that's also one of the benefits of being able to apply it with your fingers, is that you're not gonna have as much fallout because you can control the placement a lot more. And so we shall see as I'm using the brush on the under eye how that goes. But I think so far it's going really, really nice having the shades work together. I mean, you can see that you can definitely still notice all of the shimmers on there. Nothing is really detracting from anything. And so I think that this shade is really nice and is working well with the other formula. Yeah, that one let itself get picked up by the brush really nice and easy. And I'm kind of wondering if I want to do like one extra shade in the inner corner just to really add a little more pop. I think I'm gonna go with that pink shade because that was just really, really pretty. And since it has some of that gold in there too, I think theoretically we can make it work. No regrets. Added a little more spice, but not too much. Yes. Oh man. All right. This is looking awesome. I love a good just all shimmer look. It's one of my favorites. Just get all the color out there. So I am going to tight line and then throw on mascara, and I will come in super close for you guys to be able to see all of the different shades, how well they mixed with each other and layered, because this is just a shifty gal. All right, and we are back with the final look, so I'm gonna come in extra close for you guys. So I decided to go with a light to darker blue liner on my waterline, just so that way I would pull out a little bit more of the blues, get some of the other colors to pop as well, so I thought that was a fitting color. But you can just see on the under eye as well as on the lid, just so much reflection on there. It's not flaky at all when I look at it. Like, it is just, everything is blended out so nice, and I really like how it ended up turning out. I can't get over these like extra reflective shades. They look absolutely stunning on the lid. Love the swatches. They are still going hard as swatches. Like some of these other multi-chromes, definitely the ones with the deeper bases. Like look at this guy with its shiftiness. This one as well. I definitely think that a lot of them are absolutely worth the money. Like especially these, they're so good, and so I can't recommend it enough. I think they are not the same as Cleonda. I can definitely say that definitively just by how all of them are performing, how they swatch. It is not the same formula as Cleonda by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that they are definitely right up with them as far as the performance of it and just how they work on your lids. So I think the price point is accurate for what you are getting, but I would love to know what you guys think. Have you guys tested out Touch of Glam versus Cleonda? Have you just picked one or the other brand? I would love to know either way, and then give me a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you did not, and if you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would join my family on here. We talk a ton about indie brands, do a ton of really colorful makeup, lots and lots of swatches, and so if that sounds like fun, I would love it if you would join my family here on YouTube. Toss some comments down below. I answer every single comment that everyone sends, and so just come join our family and gush about the makeup that you love. And other than that, you guys just go have a good one.